My wife walked through the door scratching her neck like she'd rolled in poison ivy. "We need to change detergents," she said, not even looking at me. "I'm having a reaction to whatever cheap stuff you bought." I looked up from my laptop. I bought the same brand we've used for 3 years. "Well, something's different." She pulled down her collar, showing me red marks across her collarbone. "Look at this, it's spreading." She wasn't wrong. The rash looked angry, raised, covering her neck and disappearing under her shirt. "Maybe you should see a doctor," I suggested. "It's just contact dermatitis," she snapped. "I'll get some cream." But 3 days later it was worse, spreading down her arms, across her chest. She finally agreed to see a dermatologist. I drove her to the appointment, waited in the lobby while she went in. 45 minutes later, she came out, face pale, eyes red. "What did they say?" I asked. "Allergic reaction. They gave me a prescription." She wouldn't look at me. That night, I was cleaning out her purse looking for the insurance card when I found the dermatologist's report folded at the bottom. I opened it. The diagnosis wasn't contact dermatitis. It was something you only get one way, and it wasn't from our detergent. If you want to know what that report said, and what I did with it, hit subscribe, because what happened next didn't just end our marriage, it ended someone's career. My name is Nathan Cross. I'm 39 years old and I live in Austin, Texas. I'm a software engineer, work from home most days. Good job, steady income, the kind of life that looks boring from the outside but feels comfortable from the inside. My wife, Lauren, is a real estate agent, high energy, always on the move, showing houses, meeting clients, closing deals. We've been married 8 years, no kids yet. She always said she wanted to wait until her career was more established. I thought we were solid. Not perfect. We had our issues. She worked late a lot. I worked weird hours. We'd go days sometimes barely seeing each other. But I trusted her. That was my first mistake. It started on a Tuesday. I was in my home office debugging code when Lauren came through the front door around 7 p.m. She dropped her bag, kicked off her heels, and immediately started scratching her neck. "You okay?" I called out. "No." She walked into my office, still scratching. "Look at this." She pulled down the collar of her blouse. Red marks, raised, angry-looking welts across her collarbone and up the side of her neck. "Whoa," I said. "What happened?" "I don't know. It started itching this afternoon during a showing. I thought maybe it was the perfume I tried at lunch, but it's getting worse." She scratched again, wincing. "It's driving me crazy." "Maybe you should take some Benadryl," I suggested. "I did. It's not helping." I stood up, got a closer look. The rash was spreading. Little red bumps clustering together, some of them starting to blister. "Lauren, that looks bad. You should see a doctor." "It's just an allergic reaction to something. I'll be fine."
But she wasn't fine. Over the next 2 days, the rash spread. Down her arms, across her chest, even onto her stomach. She tried every over-the-counter cream we had. Calamine lotion, hydrocortisone, aloe vera. Nothing worked. She started sleeping in a separate room because she couldn't stop scratching. The sound of her nails against her skin kept me awake. On Thursday morning, I found her in the bathroom, staring at herself in the mirror, eyes red from crying. "This is getting worse," she whispered. "You need to see a dermatologist," I said firmly. "Today." She nodded. For once, she didn't argue. I called around and found a dermatologist who could see her that afternoon, Dr. Sarah Chen. Good reviews, office in downtown Austin. I offered to go with her. She said no. "It's just a rash, Nathan. I don't need you to hold my hand." "I'm not trying to." "I'll be fine." She left at 2 p.m. I went back to work, but I couldn't focus. Something about the whole situation felt off. Not the rash itself, that was clearly real, but her reaction to it, the way she wouldn't let me come with her, the way she'd been distant all week. I told myself I was overthinking it. I was wrong. Lauren came home around 4:30 p.m. She walked straight past me, went to the bedroom, and closed the door. I gave her a few minutes, then knocked. "Hey, what did the doctor say?" "Allergic reaction," she called through the door. "I gave me a prescription. I'm going to pick it up." "Want me to go get it?" "No, I need to get out of the house anyway." She left again, came back an hour later with a pharmacy bag. That night, she took the medication and went to bed early. I tried to talk to her. She said she was tired. The next morning, she was gone before I woke up. Left a note, early showing, be back late. And that's when I started to notice the pattern. Over the next week, Lauren was barely home. Early showings, late closings, client dinners, open houses on the weekend. When she was home, she was in the other room, on her phone, door closed. The rash was getting better, the medication was working, but the distance between us was growing. One night I asked her directly, "Are we okay?" She looked up from her phone. "What?" "Us. Are we okay?" "Of course. Why?" "You've just been distant." She sighed. "Nathan, I'm dealing with a painful rash and trying to keep my business running. I'm sorry if I'm not being attentive enough." The way she said it, like I was being needy, made me back off. "I'm just worried about you," I said quietly. "I'm fine." She went back to her phone. I went back to my office and stared at my screen, feeling like a stranger in my own house. The following Tuesday, I was doing laundry. Lauren's purse was on the kitchen counter. Her wallet had fallen out along with some receipts and papers. I wasn't snooping, I was just cleaning up. But when I picked up the papers to put them back, I saw the letterhead, Dr. Sarah Chen, Dermatology. It was folded. I almost put it back without looking. Almost.
But something made me open it. Maybe it was the way Lauren had been acting. Maybe it was instinct. I unfolded the paper. At the top, patient Lauren Cross. Below that, date of visit. And then, in clear medical terminology, diagnosis, dermatitis secondary to allergic reaction, consistent with contact exposure to latex proteins. Pattern and distribution suggest intimate contact. I read it again. Latex proteins. Intimate contact. My brain tried to process what I was reading. Latex, like condoms. The rash wasn't from our detergent. It was from latex, from condoms. We didn't use condoms. We hadn't in years. Lauren had an IUD. I stood there in my kitchen holding a piece of paper that was rewriting my entire marriage. I didn't confront her immediately. I needed to think, to process, to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding. I took a photo of the report with my phone, put the original back in her purse exactly where I found it. Then I went to my office and Googled latex allergy rash, intimate contact. The results confirmed what I already knew. Latex allergies can cause contact dermatitis. When someone without a latex allergy has repeated intimate contact with latex, like condoms, they can develop a reaction. The rash pattern on Lauren's neck, chest, and arms was consistent with someone who'd been in close physical contact with someone wearing latex gloves or using latex condoms. My hands were shaking. I called the one person I knew who'd give it to me straight, my brother, Jake. Jake's a lawyer, divorce lawyer specifically. "I need to talk to you," I said when he picked up. "What's wrong?" "Not over the phone. Can you meet me?" "Now?" "Now." We met at a coffee shop near his office. I showed him the photo of the report. He read it, looked up at me, read it again. "Shit," he said quietly. "Yeah. You're sure you guys don't use condoms?" "Positive. She has an IUD. We haven't used condoms since we got married." Jake set down his phone. "Nathan, I'm sorry. What do I do?" "First, don't confront her yet. You need more evidence. I have a medical report that says she had contact with latex. It doesn't say how. She could argue it was from something else. Gloves at a doctor's office, a medical procedure, anything." "Jake, come on. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm saying you need more. If you're going to blow up your marriage, you need to be sure." I hated that he was right. "What do I do?" He leaned forward. "You watch, you document, you don't let on that you know anything, and when you have enough, you come back to me." I went home and played the part. Normal husband, normal evening. Lauren came home late, said she'd been at a closing. I asked how it went. She said fine. We ate leftover Thai food in front of the TV. She scrolled her phone. I pretended to watch a show. Everything looked normal. Everything felt like a lie. That night, after she went to bed, I sat in my office and made a decision. I wasn't going to be the guy who ignored the truth because it was uncomfortable. I was going to find out exactly what was happening, and then I was going to decide what to do about it.
The next morning, I did something I never thought I'd do. I installed monitoring software on our shared computer. Not spyware, not illegal, just a program that logged activity, websites visited, emails sent, that kind of thing. Lauren used the computer sometimes to check her real estate listings and respond to clients. If there was something to find, it would be there. I felt sick doing it, like I was crossing a line. But the line had already been crossed. I was just trying to see where it led. It took 3 days. On Friday afternoon, I checked the logs. Most of it was normal. Real estate sites, Zillow, MLS listings. But then I saw it. A Gmail account I didn't recognize. She'd logged in twice that week, both times while I was in a meeting. The email address? lcross.realty2@gmail.com. We had a shared email, and she had her work email through her brokerage. Why did she need a third account? I tried to access it, password protected, obviously, but the monitoring software had captured some of the email subjects before she deleted them. Tonight? Miss you? When can we meet again? My stomach dropped. I took screenshots, saved them to a secure folder. Then I called Jake. I found something. Jake looked at the screenshots in his office. "This is good," he said. "Not conclusive, but good." "Good?" I repeated. "My wife has a secret email account where someone's sending her messages about meeting up." "I know, I'm sorry. I mean, it's good for your case." "My case," I said bitterly. "I don't even know if I want a case. I just want to know the truth." "Nathan, you already know the truth. You're just hoping you're wrong." He wasn't wrong. "What's next?" I asked. "Next, you need to find out who she's talking to." "How?" "Does she have location sharing turned on her phone?" "We used to. I don't know if she still does." "Check. If she does, you can see where she's been." I pulled out my phone, opened Find My Friends. Lauren's location was still shared with me. I scrolled back through her location history. Most of it was normal. Her office, clients' houses, restaurants. But there was one address that came up over and over. An apartment complex in South Austin. She'd been there at least 6 times in the last 2 weeks. Always in the evening. Always for about 2 hours. "What's that address?" Jake asked. I pulled it up on Google Maps. Apartment complex, the Meridian. Jake wrote it down. "I'll have someone check it out." "Someone?" I asked. "A private investigator, friend of mine, discreet." I hesitated. This was really happening. I was hiring a PI to follow my wife. "Do it," I said. The PI's name was Marcus. Former cop, now ran his own investigation firm. We met at his office. I showed him everything, the medical report, the emails, the location data. He didn't judge, didn't offer sympathy, just took notes. "I'll follow her for a week," he said. "Document where she goes, who she meets. If there's someone else, I'll find out who." "How much?" He quoted me a number. It was steep, but I didn't care. "Do it." He started that Monday. By Wednesday, Marcus called. "I've got something." We met at the same coffee shop where I'd met Jake. Marcus slid a folder across the table. Inside were photos. Lauren's car parked at the Meridian. Lauren walking into the building. Lauren in the elevator with a man I didn't recognize. The man was tall, maybe mid-30s, wearing a suit. "Who is he?" I asked. "His name is Ryan Holloway. He's a loan officer at First National Bank, lives in Unit 4C. I stared at the photo. "How long?" "Based on the location data you gave me and what I've observed this week, I'd say at least 2 months, maybe longer." 2 months, I repeated numbly. Marcus pulled out another photo, This one was time-stamped from yesterday. Lauren and Ryan standing in the apartment complex parking lot, his hand on her lower back, her smiling up at him. They looked comfortable, familiar, like a couple. I felt something inside me crack. "There's more," Marcus said quietly. He showed me another photo. Ryan's car, a silver Audi, parked outside our house. "When was this?" "Last Thursday, around 2 p.m. You were at a work meeting downtown, according to your calendar." She'd brought him to our house while I was gone. I closed the folder. "That's enough." "You sure? I can keep—" "I'm sure." I paid him, took the folder, drove home in a daze. That night, Lauren came home late again. "Sorry," she said, breezing past me. "Closing ran long." I looked at her, really looked at her. She was lying to my face, and she was good at it. "How's the rash?" I asked. She touched her neck absently. "Better, almost gone." "That's good?" She smiled, kissed my cheek. "I'm going to take a shower." She walked down the hall, phone in hand, and closed the bathroom door. I sat on the couch, folder on my lap, and made a decision. Tomorrow, I'd call Jake. Tomorrow, this ended. Jake looked at the PI report and nodded slowly. "This is everything we need." "What happens now?" "Now we file. Adultery is still relevant in Texas, especially for property division and alimony. I don't want to drag this out. I just want it over." "Understood. But Nathan, you need to be smart about this. Don't confront her yet. Let me draw up the papers and we'll serve her properly." "When?" "Give me 3 days." 3 days felt like 3 years. I went through the motions. Work, dinner, sleep. Lauren didn't notice anything was wrong, or if she did, she didn't care. On Friday, Jake called. "Papers are ready. We'll serve her Monday morning." "At the house?" "At her office. More professional. Less chance of a scene." I agreed. That weekend was surreal. Lauren and I went to brunch, ran errands, watched a movie. She held my hand in the car. I looked at her and wondered how someone could lie so completely. Monday morning, Lauren left for work at 8 a.m. At 10 a.m., Jake texted me. "Done. She's been served."
My phone rang 20 minutes later. Lauren. Her name on the screen felt like a punch. I answered. "Hello?" "What the fuck, Nathan?" Her voice was shaking. Rage, not tears. "You got the papers." "You're divorcing me without even talking to me?" "There's nothing to talk about." "Nothing to— Are you serious right now?" "I know about Ryan." Silence. "Then I don't know what you're talking about." "Ryan Holloway, the Meridian Apartments, Unit 4C. More silence. "Nathan?" "I have photos, Lauren. Dates, times. I know everything." Her breathing changed. "You've been spying on me? You've been cheating on me. It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" She didn't answer. "That's what I thought," I said. "My lawyer will be in touch." I hung up. My hands were shaking, but I felt clear. For the first time in weeks, I felt like I could breathe. Lauren tried calling back. I didn't answer. She sent texts. I didn't read them. She came home that night. I wasn't there. I'd packed a bag and checked into a hotel. Jake advised me to stay away until things cooled down. "Just let her process," he said. "Let her lawyer see what we have. They'll realize fighting this is pointless." It took 2 weeks. Lauren's lawyer, some guy named Brad from a strip mall office, called Jake. They wanted to settle. We met in a conference room, neutral territory. Lauren looked smaller than I remembered, tired. Brad did most of the talking. "My client is willing to agree to a division of assets. She keeps her car, her retirement account. You keep yours.
The house gets sold, proceeds split 50-50. And, Jake prompted. Brad shifted. And she requests that the evidence not be made public. The affair, Jake clarified. Yes. Jake looked at me. I nodded. My client agrees with one condition, Jake said. Mrs. Cross signs a statement admitting to the affair, notarized, for the record. Brad looked at Lauren. She looked at the table. Fine, she whispered. The divorce was finalized 60 days later. I got the house. She didn't want it, too many memories. She got her car and her accounts. No alimony, no drama. Just done. 6 months later, I was sitting in my living room now, when I got a message on LinkedIn. Ryan Holloway. I stared at the name, debated blocking him. Instead, I opened it. Nathan, I know you have no reason to listen to me, but I wanted to say I'm sorry. What happened was wrong. I didn't know she was married until it was too late, and by then, I'm not making excuses. I just wanted you to know I'm sorry. I read it twice. Then I typed back. You didn't ruin my marriage. You just exposed what was already broken. No hard feelings.
I hit send and closed the app. Because it was true. Lauren didn't cheat because of Ryan. She cheated because she'd already checked out. The rash just made it visible. A year later, I met someone new. Her name is Claire. She's a teacher. Honest, kind, terrible at hiding her emotions. When she's happy, you know. When she's upset, you know. There's no guessing, no secret emails, no hidden rashes. Just truth. We took it slow. I told her about Lauren, about the divorce, about the dermatologist's report that changed everything. She listened, didn't judge, just held my hand. I'm glad you found out, she said. You deserve better. I'm starting to believe that, I said. The house sold last month. Lauren and I split the proceeds. I bought a smaller place, a condo downtown. Fresh start. I don't think about her much anymore. Sometimes I wonder if she's still with Ryan, if they're happy. Mostly, I just feel free. Because the truth is, that rash wasn't the problem. It was the answer. The answer I'd been too afraid to ask for. And once I had it, everything else fell into place. If this story hit home, comment, I found out. If you've ever ignored the signs, if you've ever trusted when you shouldn't have, if you've ever had the truth hit you like a freight train, this one's for you. Hit subscribe for more stories about the moment everything changes. Because sometimes the truth doesn't set you free, it just shows you the door, and you have to be brave enough to walk through it.